Let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
Stop sucking! That's the signal! Go! Go! 6! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Monday. Whoa. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show at therushradio.com. Good to have you along. We are powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Android app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, give this channel a subscription. Give this video a like. You can leave your comments, play along with all the other viewers in the comments section. Don't forget to follow us on X, Facebook, and, of course, Instagram. My name happens to be Travis Justice. His name happens to be Ross Peterson. Did you have a good weekend there, buddy?
I had an interesting weekend. Yeah, I had an okay weekend. I played the worst golf. So Saturday was the East High Golf Classic. I'm the one that picked the time for the tee off because I knew Eli had baseball, but I thought, well, he'll probably get early games. So I picked the 1 o'clock tee time. Eli's games ended up being at 1 and 5.
Ooh.
So played golf and then went to baseball on Saturday. And then yesterday I drove to Sigourney, showed a house.
How far is Sigourney from Des Moines?
About an hour and a half.
Wow.
Listen, if it weren't the circumstance that it is, I would have just called an agent over there and said, "Hey, help my people out here." And treat them right, but it's kind of a special circumstance. So I'm worth the drive. Beautiful home, and they're writing an offer, so all worth it. Gary Presnall, big thanks, GP.
See, listeners of the show probably, and they watch our advertisers, and they see Gary Presnall writing mortgages. That's
well,
the way I'm
you're mostly right about that. They don't listen to the show, but you're mostly right about that.
Damn it.
So yeah, then drove back and had baseball again yesterday. I played golf, Travis, so bad on Saturday that I really don't think I'm ever going to play again.
So when are you going to play again?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. See,
Justin Miller, but I don't think I'm ever playing again. It was that bad, dude. I didn't have a single shot. I mean a putt. Looked like I'd never played before. It was awful,
a horrible
man.
Feeling, isn't it?
It is. And I'm with my buddies who are actually good.
And what happens if you're playing with your buddies that are good, even though you're buddies, deep down they're going, God, we wish Ross was here.
Dude, you can feel it. You feel it every time. They're like, do you even want to hit?
How many times did you get in the golf cart and say, just go, boys. I'll wait till we get to the green.
Several. Well, that's the thing. One of them gets up and hits, a 300-yard drive down the middle of the fairway, and you're sitting in the cart, and they look back at you, and you're like, no. What? No. You're not going to hit here? No. Why, so we can drive and pick it up?
So I can, just wind burn it, or worm burn it down the fairway and hit it like 50 yards? I haven't even swung a club yet. I have not been on the course. Yet I have not swung a club yet. I've got some events coming up, so I'm kind of like, oh God, I better start swinging the clubs a little bit. Now I know you had some baseball yesterday, and we've got a lot of stuff to get to, including John Walter is going to be joining us at 7:30.
Do we have a busy week?
We do have a busy week. We got a lot of interviews lined up. John Walter is going to kick things off today. Of course, the Cyclones Tailgate Tour starts a week from today, and they'll spend 5 days on the road going all around the state of Iowa. So it's going to be Matt Campbell, J.B. Pollard, Bill Fenley, T.J. Otzelberger, and, of course, John Walters is there to kind of bring that whole group together and do the performances.
Cattle herder.
They're cattle. I want to ask him, I go, like, day 3, do you put a little sign, hello, Clear Lake? I mean.
like Nirvana had to do on the stage, right? Or whatever it is.
But think about that bonding experience though, because you're on the bus and just the stories that never leave that bus, and I guarantee there's some good ones, right? I mean, it's just stuff you'll never hear, never see. We'll try to get John to share one or two.
We'll try to get John to share that inside stuff that he's not supposed to share. Get him in trouble.
He's
break
not going to do that.
Break that brotherhood up a little bit. There you go, Trav. I like.
Yeah, he probably won't do that though. So, but it'll be good to catch up with John. Later in the week, I think we got Sam Burnaby coming on with us.
Sam Burnaby's going to come on Wednesday. Yeah. Thursday, we have Bruno will join us at 7 because Chuck Long is going to join us at 7.
Yeah, Chuck Long going to join us on Thursday.
I thought we had one for tomorrow too. I know Friday.
Friday. Well, let's hold on to that one. We'll do a deep tease. You need to keep listening. I believe Wednesday.
Burnaby, we said
Burnaby, but Kyle Peterson, I think, is going to join us at 7 o'clock. Of course, the Iowa baseball team can wrap up the Big Ten championship this weekend with a series against Oregon. But I want to go to your baseball games because you were at baseball this weekend. And you put a post out on social media yesterday about a truck and a Lexus
and a van. I had a picture of the van, but I'll be honest, the van was like super duper duper messy, and I didn't want to post a picture and have people be like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? So I just left that one alone. I see a lot of baseball games. I've been in a lot of baseball games in my life. And over time, you see this. You're going to see baseballs hit windshields. And I don't mean like graze the windshield or crack the windshield. I mean full on spider web the windshield. It happened twice in one game yesterday. After the last game, the championship game of the tournament. So beautiful weekend. I just felt so bad for those 3 people because one of them was a Range Rover. It landed right in the corner of the windshield and bottom right hand corner and just splattered it.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
We joked about like having one of the coaches was like, I just found out my retirement business. I'm gonna have a windshield repair company, just drive through ballparks on the weekends.
Now, I do have a question when it comes to these cars because when Owen was playing baseball, I haven't gone to a little league baseball game for a long time, but I purposely parked as far away as possible from the field because I never wanted my car to get hit. So I purposely said, "Yeah, we're going to trek it. Okay, we're gonna park a long ways away because I don't want the car to get hit." Were these cars reasonably parked or were they in prime position?
Prime position.
If you know what, Mr. Range Rover,
don't driver, say dessert. I know. Okay, go ahead. I shouldn't have stopped you. Fire away.
Listen, Mr. Range Rover and Lexus driver, you're driving anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000 cars.
Oh yeah, these were beautiful cars.
Yes, if you park, then you're kind of at you. You don't deserve it. Nobody deserves to have their windshield knocked out. But if you're driving an $80,000 to $90,000 car and you park somewhat in the vicinity of foul balls, I don't feel sorry for you. You don't deserve it. I don't feel sorry for you.
Trav, I'm absolutely with you that it's when you pull up to a ballpark, it's the thing you've got to think about. And why not? It's a beautiful day. I mean, I know and if some people have to park close. My dad's one of those people. He just can't walk very far. He can't get around very well. So when he comes to the game, he has to park close. But I'm assuming that's our buddy Chris Shipley. 3 Beards Media says you're asking for it. That you don't deserve it. But there is a thing of like you're taunting the baseball gods.
You are very much so.
And this, I mean, Travis, there's a section of this particular parking lot at Holiday Park that even when you drive up it, you're like, why do they even have a parking? Why do they even allow cars to park there? Right behind the dugout. Right along the first base line, 30 feet from the line, 50 feet from the line are these cars. That's prime spot there. 3, dude. And then a 4th ball. It's same game. A 4th ball comes off the bat, exact same trajectory, high into the air, over that, and the entire crowd went, oh, because by this point, Anybody whose car was in that area watching that game had moved their car. But it's a huge complex. So, Trav, we never even saw the people come up and go, "Oh my God." So now there's only like 6 cars in that area now. And boom, a ball gets hit. And you heard the whole crowd gasp. And it lands right onto the hood of this old, like, Dodge Ram steel truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's probably got multicolored, right? So it's not a newer Ram. It's an
not
older
a new Ram. It's an old farm truck.
Ram hood ornament. Like, man, that people steal that stuff.
Didn't leave a mark.
And what'd the farmer say?
The farmer said, he goes, "That's good American steel." A couple years later, that'd have been plastic. My buddy Chris.
Not wrong, by the way, either.
No, not true. So, my heart does kind of break. Even the Lexus and the Range Rover, who you're like, oh, they've got the money. That's a crappy way. The guy with the Lexus, that's one he might not even notice because, I don't think it's in a weird part on the trunk. Should I left a note? Do you leave a note that says, "Hey, check your trunk light"?
No, I don't think so.
A 5th ball. I forgot about this.
Look at you just coming with another ball.
So one of the little boys on the boys on the team has a little brother. Okay. And so Brock and I are out surveying the damage because he comes over. He's like, "Ross, you got to see these windshields." So I got up and that's when I took the photos. Brock and I are standing in the parking lot. Crack. Heads up. Brock and I kind of take cover. Ball bounces in the parking lot again. Brock says it went in that Jeep over there. That foul ball went into that Jeep. I'm like, "Oh, like in the sunroof." And so I go over and look. I go, "Brock, it couldn't have gone in. This Jeep doesn't have a sunroof." And he says, "No, it went through the window." Travis, the passenger side, the back passenger window was open about 6 inches. The ball had bounced through that gap into the back seat of this Jeep. There was another dad who was walking through the parking lot to pick up the ball, and he kind of came over and looked in. He goes, "Sure it is. The ball's in the back seat of this truck."
So having that window down 6 inches probably saved them having a window.
Oh, probably.
Because your windows are not as thick as your windshield. I don't believe.
I don't know. I just know it was a crazy. That was all in one game.
Were the boys having fun going, "Let's see how many cars"?
Oh, dude, you know how that was. Yeah. I mean, it is the I mean, dichotomy is probably the wrong word, or juxtaposition of the kids. The ball comes off the bat, and you feel the excitement of the kids and the anxiety of the parents. The adults go, "Oh no," and the kids are going, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, because kids aren't paying the insurance. Kids,
no.
And they're like, "God, my deductible's not even going to cover this."
Oh, and Travis, those ones that hit the windshield, they splat. You hear them. You hear it. It's like a crunchy. It doesn't go boonk. It goes.
Oh, damn. That's why I stay away from Little League games. Just when my son was done, I'm like, I never have to go to a Little League game again. Thank God.
It's just about where you park.
It is. Tyler says windshields are meant to spider web and not break. Others, not so much. Yeah, because if you get in a wreck, you don't want it to break into you. It's that tempered glass they call it. Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't know. You're right. I can show you the pictures. They spider web.
I had an interesting weekend. By the way, thanks for coming to my mom's funeral. I appreciate it. And you grabbed after the show on Friday, Ross. I made Ross laugh because we got to the church about 8:00, and I said, "Owen, you got to get the podcast up." So I sent Ross a picture. Hey, priorities. We're working on the show in the church.
It's literally Owen. It's literally Owen in a pew with his laptop posting the podcast.
I said, we can't, it was we got it up at 8:15. I felt bad. I go, usually I have it up at 8:05. I go, come on, we got to go. We got to go. I'm going to go look at Mom's ashes, but you get this done. You get this done. You brought Justin, which kind of surprised me a little bit. And I appreciate you doing that. But was that his first time ever in a church? I'm just curious if that was Justin's first time ever in a church.
And let me tell you, I used a lot of my my Catholic Camino knowledge and shared it with Justin. I was able to explain to him a lot of stuff about I don't know if it was his first time in a church. I don't know about that. I think it was his first time in a Catholic church. So yeah, when we got there, I kind of knew that. So I said to him right away, I said, hey, here's the deal. Can be a lot of stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down. You don't have to do what you're comfortable doing. Now, here's the other thing. At some point, they're going to invite everybody to come up and take a little wafer and some wine. Do not go up there.
A little wafer. It's the Eucharist. It's the body of Christ.
I didn't want to tell him. We didn't have to explain. And I explained to him what the Eucharist was, and I explained to him what that is, that Catholics see that as literally the body of Christ. It's not symbolic. We had that whole conversation, but initially, instead of going into the deep end, the walk-in was, hey, there's a little wafer thing. They're going to do this little thing where everybody's going to get in line and go up there. Just don't get in line. And then, of course, the priest said you could come up and get a blessing, and you just kind of give a symbol that says, I've not gone through the procedures. Can't have the cracker.
You're not initiated yet. You haven't gone through.
Yeah, right. I don't know the handshake. I don't know the hand. I don't know which finger goes. I don't know. So I can't have your little wafer and wine. But anyway, I did explain
wafer and wine.
I did explain all that to him. Like, here's how this is going to go down.
But yeah, gosh, I was shocked. There were the funeral home counted 150 people at the funeral. Now, you may not think that's a lot, but for an 82-year-old woman who lived an hour and a half away
in a town of 150 people,
exactly. It's not like Templeton is this big old town, right? And so, we'd only planned for 100 for lunch. So Litterdale's, which is located in Litterdale, Iowa, and which is really close to
good spot for it.
Yeah, they went and got more food. So because they were like, oh my God, because they counted during the funeral because we said, probably 100 people. And they counted 150. I said, well, can we get more food? So they made a phone call and they reacted really quick. So
I'm going to see Justin tomorrow. You let me know what he owes you.
$11. $11 a plate is what it was.
He had two plates. He had 2 plates, $22.
Did he go through twice?
I'm sure he did. I don't know that he did, but I bet he did. Doesn't that sound like Justin?
If he would have brought his original plate up, I would have got charged for that plate because they were counting the plates. Damn it. So we started the process of cleaning out Mom's house this weekend, and I thought it was very interesting, the stuff you find, right, that was never shared with us as kids. And we found all of Mom's report cards from kindergarten through her junior year in high school at Manning.
She kept her report cards? No, for some reason we can't find her senior year. And we're like, where's senior year at? We know Mom graduated because I had her diploma right there. But she kept every one of her report cards. Now, today, did she get good grades?
No, she was average student. Yeah. Just, average. But then we found a handwritten English project, past, present, and future, that my dad hand wrote. And it was hilarious. That he told the stories that he did in thinking in today's world, and then what the teacher wrote. So he wrote about him being a little kid.
Where did your dad grew up in Western Iowa too, right?
Yeah, he grew up in he ended up graduating from Manning, but he got kicked out of Manila, and he was from Botna. So
he's from Farm, Iowa.
He's from Farm, Iowa, right?
Okay.
And so he's talking about kids picking on him.
How old when he wrote this? Do you know?
Oh, he would have been 16 years old.
So
he was 16. Owen was the first one to read it. He goes, "Dad, this is Mark Twain. This is Huckleberry Finn. Not that it was written like eloquently, but he goes, this is just a Huck Finn story." And so he's talking about, kids that were picking on him when he was little and how he went and kicked their teeth in and beat them up. And then he talked about the first time he was smoking and how he took up smoking. And then he talked about, I'd like to play sports when I grow up, but then I couldn't smoke and drink. I mean, he wrote this in the paper at 16, and then he goes, well, I'd like to be a teacher, but that would be boring. So I guess I'm going to be a truck driver, which he ended up being. He goes, because when it's hot outside, you just roll down the window. And when it's cold outside, you just turn on the heater. And that was it. And he ended up being a truck driver. And so he's talking about it. It's about 4 or 5 pages long. And at the end, the teacher goes, life's not a joke. So she thought he was joking during all this. He wasn't joking. Very serious. He was being very serious. But it was interesting to find that. It was preserved. And I'm like, oh, we're going to hold on to this. We're going to hold on to this.
My sister found my grandpa's journal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing, dude. It was so cool. My grandpa in the 30s, 40s, 50s, writing in a journal in Wisconsin, as a German immigrant during World War II. It's fascinating stuff, man. It's really cool, especially when you are that age. I mean, 16. Owen, you remember that. You can remember being 16. If you're reading my grandpa's journal as a 30-year-old man, it's easy as to go, oh my gosh, what amazing perspective, and how cool that you got to find that, dude.
Yeah, and I had no idea it existed because it was in a cedar chest, which Greta wanted, so we were there unloading it so we could load it up, take it here. And so Anjanette's cleaning all this stuff out, and she's like, oh my God, look at this stuff. And stuff my mom probably thought was worthless, that you're really, and it is worthless.
And it is, but yeah, to 90, yeah, except for the 15 people in the world.
Yeah. So so we did a little cleaning, a little moving. Now we got to do sell a house, sell a car, and get
Travis and I are learning the differences in the real estate market between the big city and Western Iowa.
I keep telling Ross stories. He's like, "Wow!"
Today we're doing a speakerphone call with Charter, so you can share this stuff with him. Because if I go in and try to tell this in a meeting, they're going to be like, "Whatever, you're lying. That doesn't happen." You go, no, you got to hear it from the horse's mouth.
No, it happens. And I'm okay with it. It. Makes my life a lot easier.
It does. It truthfully does. But it's illegal.
Not if the other person agrees to it, though, is it?
I think that I'm pretty sure that the law that was passed says they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing. I'm pretty sure.
That's just my
negotiation. All right. Listen, again, sure. As long as you're aware of it.
Yes.
I think that's the key. Actually, now that I say that out loud, that's the key. As long as you're aware that you're paying both of the agents and very clear about it, sure.
Because I could say,
but a phone call is happening later to go tell these boys. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So we do have as I mentioned, a busy week, a busy day coming up. So get ready for that. Ross, I found something, and I want to talk about this when we come back after the break. But there's a story in the Des Moines Register today, at least in the online version, about the 5 craziest state fair things that happened over time. And
the 5, like the fighting, like the wrestling a bear type stuff, or the 5.
And the wrestling of the bear isn't even up there. I mean, it's not even there.
How about how about the train crash?
The train is there.
Okay. That was there was 2 presidents
president's not part of this. There's
no. With the train crash, I'm saying.
Oh,
with the train crash, it was an election year, and part of the promotion they had a train track that ran through the middle of the fairgrounds. So they put a train on the east end of town, a train on the west end of town. They had them collide at the fairgrounds as part of a promotion. That's what they did. But if I remember the story correctly, Trav, maybe you can find this in the article. They put each one of the presidential candidates' names on on each rail car. And so it was kind of like the two candidates colliding. I think. I don't know why that's in my brain, but
I mean, who wouldn't line up for a good train collision?
Now, is it just during the fair, or does it encompass the fairgrounds?
No, it just encompasses what took place at the fair.
Because a kid jumped a bus. And I don't mean jumped over a bus.
Like
I mean a
kid.
Knievel? I mean a kid drove a bus over a jump at the fairgrounds. They made T-shirts that said, "I was there when Bobby jumped the bus," or whatever it was. It was a bus flying through the air. Somebody that's listening right now was there or remembers that.
Hey, what I want to know is that when you're driving that bus and about ready to hit the ramp, at what point does your brain say, this probably ain't a good idea?
You've done enough drugs before you hit that ramp that you're not even thinking straight.
Oh, you're probably right. You are probably right. 515-517-2303. That is the number to call if you want to hop in, have a conversation with us. If you want to chime in another way, you can always do so by leaving your comments in the comment section on YouTube or even on Facebook. So
I'm excited about this. I'm not going to look this article up.
Don't look it up.
I'm not going to.
We will do it. We'll do it when we come back.
Okay.
It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive at therushradio.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
When was the last time you had your alignment checked? If it's been a while, your car could be out of alignment and you wouldn't even know. Improper alignment can lead to poor gas mileage, premature tire wear, and poor grip on the road. That's why we offer free alignment checks with any regular service to ensure your Cadillac can handle whatever the road throws at it. So give us a call or schedule online at williscadillac.com.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Spring cleaning continues. Come down to Land Rover Des Moines to get your front and rear differential fluid services done for $199.95 each. Preventative maintenance is important to ensure your vehicle runs smoothly down the road. To schedule, give us a call or head online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Like Roscoe had to go take a pee. Just kind of disappeared on me during the commercial break. Or he thinks the breaks are longer than what they are. Now he comes running back in. He's joining us. Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Got my fishing hat, Travis. You like it?
Ooh, it's huge. It's huge. Huge. 515-517-2303. John joins us. He wants to talk about the truck jump at the Iowa State Fair. Were you there, John?
Roscoe, it's Johnny Mick.
Johnny Mick. John, am I? Now that I'm saying, dude, was it a semi that the kid jumped?
It was a semi, yes. I sent you a photo. So my dad's friend, Lefty Robinson, was the promoter of the races. So he had this idea to jump a semi. And his son, that's a whole different story. Basically, he talked him into it. So they got this semi. There was a new fabric that had come out that was energy absorbing. So they just wrapped Lefty's son in this fabric. Oddly enough, his name was Bland Robinson. So they set up a tractor trailer flatbed and some cars on the front stretch. And he took a couple laps around the track to get up to speed, came down, hit the trailer, and I'm not lying, that thing flew. And he cleared those cars and barely got stopped before he hit the wall in the turn. So it was amazing, pretty crazy to see. So then later, back in those days, late 70s, there was a show on TV called That's Incredible.
I remember that.
So they had those folks come and they were going to do it again. So later that year in the fall, it was chilly. They got it all set up. Bland is taking his warm-up laps to get up to speed, went into the corner of 1 and 2 at the fairgrounds, spun it out and rolled it.
Oh.
Did he live or die?
TV. He was fine. He was probably on several chemicals at the time.
Now, did you say Robinson? Is that what you said, Johnny Mick?
Yeah, Lefty Robinson was the promoter, and his daughter actually ended up racing in NASCAR. Shauna Robinson.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was her brother that did it.
Is Bland still with us?
I don't know. But I sent Ross a photo. They have a picture and the T-shirt have mullets. And the picture's black and white, but the truck is in the air in the photo. And there's a good chance I'm in the background of that photo with my dad and a bunch of people we know. But it was a sight to see that thing fly through the air. It was pretty crazy.
Man, what great stories.
I was thinking it was a bus and it's a semi. Now, it didn't have the trailer on it. It's just, but it's still.
No.
Holy cow. Johnny Mick, thanks for calling in and clarifying, brother. Appreciate it, buddy.
And then Lefty ended up starting truck races after that. They started having truck races. So one thing led to another, but I could tell stories for days about racing. But anyway, yeah,
thanks,
I was
Johnny
there.
Mick.
The first truck jump. It was crazy.
I was there. John. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day, fellas.
Yep. Man. Jumping a semi. So this is from the Des Moines Register this morning.
These are the sanctioned events.
These actually took place at the fair. I think what John was talking about, what you're talking about, took place at the track, but it wasn't during the Iowa State Fair.
Right. Yep.
So number 1 on there is Baby Mine. The most famous fair time spectacle ever was the Iowa State Fair elephant. Did you know they had a Baby Mine?
Okay, hold on. Baby Mine? Baby what?
M-I-N-E. The actual name of the elephant was Mine, but they called him Baby Mine.
Okay.
Was purchased by the State Fair and the Des Moines Register. How do you think they paid for said elephant?
They traded advertising.
Oh no. It was a modern day in 1929, 1928 crowdfunding or crowdsourcing from nickels and dimes from Iowa school children
to buy an elephant for the fair.
So Mine learned tricks, performed across the country from 1929 to 1942. But he was always back for the state fair. So the elephant would do a travel around the country, do tricks, but then be there for the fair. The one you were talking about, the locomotive crashes. That was in 1932.
Okay.
And it pitted Herbert Hoover train against the Franklin Delano Roosevelt train.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got that right. The trains were traveling about 50 miles per hour. The 4 engineers bailed just before the 2 trains hit it.
What? I didn't know that part. I just thought they set them in motion.
How many people do you think were there watching?
Oh, 10,000.
They had to hold back 45,000 people from getting too close to the site.
East side?
Yeah. Could you all back up 45,000 people?
Somebody said they think there's a video of the trains. Would they have had video of that?
Yeah, I think so.
They got video of it?
Here's one for you.
Okay.
60,000 people watched this. 60,000. A plane dive bombed a house.
What?
Yes. On the fair's thrill day. The thrill day at the fair. The house in tatters on the grandstand. The pilot barely escaped arrest for the stunt. In general, planes and air tricks and all sorts of. I'm reading this directly for the registrar.
Oh, no. You need to go back and slow down and read that again for us.
Okay, I'll read. I'll read the whole thing. This is number 3 in the registrar's craziest things at the fair. The smashing theme. This comes right after the locomotives. The smashing theme continued throughout the 1930s, but in 1937, the Iowa State Fair upped the ante by having Captain F.F. Frakes crash a speeding airplane into a house. About 60,000 people watched this climax to this fair's thrill day, according to the Iowa State Fair archives. But the feat apparently made Frakes a wanted man. The house in tatters on the grandstand, Frakes barely escaped arrest for the stunt. In general, planes and air tricks and all sorts were draws at the fair. Even an appearance from the Grand Ole Register and Tribune Autogrio, an airplane with a windmill-like blades on the front, brought people out to the fairgrounds. They dive bombed a house. This is when the fair was cool.
You wonder why it's the Great State Fair.
Okay, number 4, and I'm going to
about this, Trav. This is when in that play, our state fair. It's a great state fair. This is the state fair they're talking about.
Yes,
this is the state fair. We wrestle bears and we crash planes into houses.
I'm so number 4 again. I'm reading directly from the Register article. Shrapnel explosion. With the Great War still in the memory of many older fairgoers, military-themed displays proved popular in the late 20s and 30s. In 1929, the fair staged an airplane dogfight of sorts. A culmination of the show was puncturing and capsizing a World War I anti-shrapnel balloon.
Oh, my God, dude.
And then
this does explain a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like
it really does.
Because there have been times I love the fair, and there have been times I've walked around and said, "How did this become such a big deal?" I get it. They bring the livestock in. It's a connection back to yesteryear. But no, there's something else. This is how. Because for generations, grandparents were like, "You got to get to the fair."
We're going to run locomotives. We're going to dive bomb houses.
What's so special about the fair? You ain't going to believe it. That's what's so special about the fair. You're going to see some shit you ain't never seen before, man.
This is how the East Side got its name. They got its reputation, right?
As soon as you're like, yeah, they had to hold back 45,000 people. That's when people are like, you know what? I'm just going to buy a house here.
And the other, number 5 on there was the human cannonball. They literally shot somebody out of a cannon.
Yeah, that's not too crazy because that became a circus trick, right?
And I'm disappointed that bear fighting is not on there, or bear wrestling, because bear wrestling was 1970s. I mean, this wasn't the 1920s and 1930s. Dude, this was the 1970s and
Travis, 80s. Think about how they even now say the shrapnel thing. Oh, yeah, we had all these dudes that were suffering from PTSD. We called it shell shock then, so we thought we'd have a demonstration. where we'd blow stuff up around them. We're gonna crash. How? So the plane thing. I got a lot of questions about. Did the dude parachute out?
That's what it didn't say in the article. I'm like, how did
he become a wanted? Did he do it did he like not? If he became a wanted man, it obviously wasn't like approved.
What'd you do? Go put a house on the east side on a truck, bring it in, because he did it in the middle of the fairgrounds. And you staged this thing. You knew it was going to take place, but yet we're going to arrest this said guy.
Man, what year was that? That was in the 30s.
Hold on, real quick.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Trav, you can find the YouTube on YouTube.
1937.
1937. You can find grainy footage of the train crash. I tell you what, man, they're running right down University Avenue, boys. They're on the backside of the track. Oh, damn! Oh, that's sweet. You got to find this video for us. This is amazing. It's grainy, but it's worth it. So that's the Iowa State Fair. Oh my God, dude. You have to pull this video up for us, Trav. Can you do that?
Let me see here. Give me 1 sec. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I just Googled Iowa State Fair train crash, and there's an Iowa artifact on YouTube. It's about 45 seconds, super fast. And then there's some. It's incredible. But the plane crash I want to try to find too. There's gotta be footage of that as well. And again, so many questions. Why did the guy become wanted?
I have no clue.
This does, I'm telling you, the only disappointing part about that is number 5, the human cannonball. Unless it was like the first time a human was ever shot out of a cannon or something. That'd be amazing.
All right. So,
but once you've seen it, right?
This
is it. This is the footage. This is the one.
Hold on, let me.
All right. Hopefully, Trav can get this up for us. This is the YouTube video that I just watched, and there's some pretty amazing stuff here. So if you have a chance to see it, you're going to want to see it.
This is straight off. There's the Hoover train. Now, if you're listening on the app, you can't see this, but you may want to go back and watch it. There's the Roosevelt train. And there it goes, right down University. Oh, they're going at a good rate of speed.
Now that one, yeah, that's a pretty good. That's actually a closer footage than the one that I was able to see.
And that's not even as grainy, I think, is what you were thinking.
No, mine was a little bit more grainy in there. You can actually see they're on the back side of the track, on the north side of the racetrack. They're right where University runs. So I bet there was something with that, Trav. That would make that they were getting ready to like take that track up to put University in or something like that. Wow. Man. I think number 5, if we're talking about incredible stuff that happened at the fair, right? Things that you are hard to believe. Trains crashing into each other, planes crashing into houses. It's not the human cannonball. It's Reverend Ray Green finishing 3rd place in the BMX finals in 1978. Come on.
Was he smoking weed in 1978?
Against all odds, was he smoking weed? Pope Catholic?
He would have been, 10? He wasn't smoking weed then, was he?
He was 13. He says, when I was 13, I got 3rd place at the BMX finals at the fair. Do they still have teenage BMX bike races? They don't do that at the fair. No, I mean at the fair.
I don't think it's
a
fair.
This is when the fair was the fair. Damn it. Kids, bring your BMX bikes. We're going to find out who the fastest is. And then
what's a good day at the fair now? 90,000 people, 100,000 people?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay, but you had 60,000 people watching a plane dive bomb a house. You had 45,000 people in 1932 watch that's a lot of people, because getting to the fair was not as easy. I mean, that would have been like long car drive. Hell, some people probably took horses.
Again, and university didn't exist. So the road system wasn't, I mean, you're right. It's a tough travel to get anywhere anywhere. Can't get there from here.
Man. I thought you would appreciate that.
I love that article. That's a fun one. The fact that, don't you think that the wrestling of bears, I think that's one that should have been on there instead of the human cannonball.
I'm with you. I'm like, because there's actual color footage of people wrestling bears.
Like we have people listening who saw their dads and uncles wrestle a bear at the fair. It was just a promotion. It was like, do you want to get a root beer, a funnel cake, or do you want to wrestle a bear?
And nobody ever beat the bear, by the way. At least we don't think.
And they fed the bear 2 liters of Diet Coke between matches.
Thank you to Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company for providing the bear with Diet Coke.
You want to fight like a bear? Diet Coke.
Man. By the way, Reverend Ray confirms that he did not smoke weed till he was 14.
Well, see, that's how you finish. That's how you finish. That's how you finish. That's how you finish third place.
Chris says Jim Zabel beat the bear.
Good point.
God rest his soul.
That was a fun show.
Beat the bear.
People that don't remember Beat the Bear, it was a local prediction. It was kind of like Sound Off. Imagine on Sunday nights instead of Sound Off, if Murph just got together with a bunch of like his buddies. It was like, hey, I'm going to bring in Ed Wilson and Willie Farrell, and we're going to talk about college football this weekend and predict the games. And then, oh, by the way, it's sponsored by Ham's Beer. So the Ham's Bear is here in studio with us. And they'd literally have a giant not stuffed, it was a mascot. Kind of like Lee Corso. The guy would stand there wearing a bear costume all season long and just hold up cards for his picks. And then at the end of it, it'd be like, all right, who was our celebrity bear all year? And they'd go and remove his head, and it'd be like, John Bachman or Mike Lozano or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, it was Sally Brubaker. Whoa, Mary Brubaker.
Could you do a show like that now and people would watch it? I think so. If it's funny, people will watch it.
If it's fun.
If it's
just like Sound Off. Just like Sound Off. If done right, done well. Did that act kind of play out? I think it did, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you could do that right now.
I know you couldn't crash 2 trains into one another.
Well, they wouldn't let you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brooks needs to go to the fair, people, and go, hey, I got this idea. Let's go back old school. Old school with the fair.
Brooks knows that they would say, hey, about that lease on your building.
Yeah, well, you're probably... Do you want to keep that? Do you want to hang on to that? You're doing okay.
You're doing okay, right? Because keep coming with those stupid ideas that are going to get us sued.
Now, he did have midget wrestling at the fair last year, right? Didn't he bring the ring
That was
in?
that was at Bacon. Or wait, no. Did he do that at the fair last year? I think, yeah, you're right.
I thought he had one day of midget wrestling.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, let the guy cook.
Yeah, just because whatever he does turns to gold.
Let him go. Get out of his way. Fair does a good job. I mean, listen, I can't pick on the fair, but I will say this does call back to a much fonder time of like, holy cow.
Yes.
That honestly, I'm really glad you told me that stuff, Trav. I knew the train crash thing. It's the only one of those I was aware of. The plane crash into a house.
I thought crowdfunding from Iowa School
to buy
an elephant. You had the register and the fair going, hey, kids, send us your dimes and nickels, which in 1927 was a lot of money. Like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to send this dime or this nickel into the state fair so I can buy a share of the elephant.
And then it became a commodity. It became an asset that they used to make money. That's cool.
Oh. NBA playoffs last night. Indiana beats Cleveland 129-109. Did you see the halftime score? It was 80-39 at halftime. 80-39 at halftime. Yes. Yeah. Your face right there is exactly, I mean, that's an ass kicking. It doesn't get any more ass kicking than 80-39 at halftime. The Pacers shot over almost 53% from the field, 43% from 3-point line. They made 19 more shots than the Cavs. They took 23 more shots than the Cavs. They shot the ball 93 times, Ross. 93 times. Sick numbers. They're now 3-1. And we're not going to say the Cavs can't come back, because the Cavs did just that in 2016, down 3-1 to the Warriors in the NBA Finals and ended up winning. But coming back from 3-1 is going to be hard. And I like the Pacers' attitude. Yeah, you're up 3-1, but you still haven't done anything. It's the semifinals. Unless you win it all, you haven't done anything.
Yeah. Their attitude looking forward, you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the right attitude to have. You haven't won anything yet. This is great. Yep, you're up on. You haven't even won this series yet.
Now I know you.
I didn't see it, Travis. I just saw the final score from this morning, and had no idea the game was that bad.
I know you. I mean, it's 80-39 at half. You're looking at Eli and Audrey going, "We're going."
Oh no, leaving the game? No, you guys. Jeez, man. I'm telling you, it is that old joke of you make 1,000 shoes for all the kids. Do they call you Ross the shoemaker? No. You build all the homes for everybody. Do they call you Ross the home builder? No. But you sleep with one goat. And that's what this is. You leave one time. You leave early one time. And the guy, you're painted with that forever. That's Ross right. The leave earlier guy. Earlier leaver guy.
Well, and you made up for it because you didn't leave my mom's funeral. I looked back, did Ross leave the funeral yet?
That would have been the move.
It would have been.
About 2/3 of the way through, sneak up behind you. Hey, man, thinking about you.
I mean, when I saw you at the graveside service, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting in the fancy, velvet covered chairs, and I look over, there's Ross. I'm like, he didn't leave.
Speaking of the velvet covered chairs, okay?
Yeah.
I thought you Catholics dressed up now and again. I show up wearing my suit. I'm the only guy. There's like 2 people wearing suits. Me and the funeral director. I'm like, hell. We're on the way out there. Justin looked nice. Justin's wearing a sweater and jeans. And he's like, Ross, am I dressed nice enough? I said, absolutely, buddy. Yeah. I mean, most people will be wearing suits, but there will absolutely be you're going to be dressed just fine. We roll up, there's dudes wearing shorts and Hawaiian shirts. I'm like, what the hell?
We just want to be comfortable. I wouldn't even wear a suit. I had slacks
on.
I
noticed.
Oh, I know you did. I know you were eyeballing me like, can't even dress up for your own mom's funeral. I wore a button-up shirt. I shaved. I looked just fine.
You did. Again, everybody looked great.
I say this to even like when we do stuff for work, when we do interviews, everybody's like, should we wear sport coats? And I'm always like, wear what you feel comfortable in, because if you are uncomfortable, it's going to show.
Yeah.
If you don't naturally wear a suit, don't wear a suit, because so they're like, well, we got to look professional. I said, you can look professional and not have a sport coat on.
Yes. And there is a look good, feel good thing. When you dress to where you think you look good, you will project that. You will absolutely look and feel different. I got to tell you a full circle moment, okay? And but just to wrap up this first hour here. So we've talked about this in passing before, but sometimes when I mention it, people are always shocked by this. So they don't know that you and I do have a family connection. I grew up 2 doors from this amazing family called the Austins. That not called the Austins. That's their name. We don't just call them that. We call them that because that's their name. They're the Austins. And my mom's best friend, Nancy Austin, my dad's best friend, Johnny Austin. I grew up with Ryan and Adam and Andrea, and they are like family. Okay. I got a chance to sit next to them at your mom's funeral. And at one point, Nancy says, Ross, it's really nice that you showed up today. There's a reason that I show up at funerals, and it's because of the Austins. It really was. I remember when my grandpa died down in Burlington, Iowa, about 3 hours away, not an easy place to get to. We're standing in the church, and the Austins came walking into that church. And I remember the way it made me feel, and I remember the way that it made my dad feel that, oh my God, my friend showed up for me today. And that's why I know that feeling. And then I got to learn it firsthand, unfortunately. But you know what that matters, man. Showing up for people matters. And it's because of the Austins. And so that was a fun moment for me to be able to say to them, hey, you made an impact on me. When I was a little boy, you guys did something that showed up for me and my family. And I know how much it means to people. So
Nancy was all worried about you because she had a place saved at lunch. And she's like, Ross does it. She's like, where's Ross at? I've saved a place for him. I said, well, he's talking. And I go, he's sitting over there. What? He's with people he didn't. I go, no, Ross knows more people here than you may realize because you got to connect with Pat, who you went on the Camino with. You sat with Colleen.
Colleen was there from the Funny Bone. Yeah, got to sit with her. I know Anjanette's family. I got to hang out with Justin, her brother, and her sister Gretchen. So that, I did know. And here's the funny thing: even the people I didn't know. So like we get to the funeral. Travis's brothers are all Travis and his brothers are standing up in front. And Nancy saw me walk in and she came over and she's like, hey, I'm going to walk you through the line so I can introduce you to all the boys. And I didn't have the heart to say, Nancy, I'm good with strangers. But I love her dearly. So I brought her along, and then she ended up talking to each one of the brothers. So I ended up just introducing.
Well, what you should have said is, Nancy, they don't like him. So introducing him as Travis's co-partner
didn't help.
Probably didn't help.
I thought I would shake their hand and go, sorry for your loss. They'd go, thank you very much. Then Nancy would go, this is Ross, Travis's co-host. And they would go, oh.
We didn't want to know that. We liked him before. 515-517-2303. That's the number to call. John Walters, voice of the Cyclones, coming up in hour number 2. He'll join us right around 7:30. Of course, the Cyclone Tailgate Tour going to start a week from today. They're going to do the trek around the state. Going to go from Ankeny to Dubuque to Clear Lake to Council Bluffs. They're going to cover it all, and John Walters will be joining us at 7:30. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The sun's out and the deals are hot. It's time to spring into savings at Willis Chevrolet of Granger. We're your small-town, family-owned Chevy store. Drive home a new Silverado 1500 with 2.9 APR for 72 months. Get 1.9 APR on the dependable Chevy Equinox, or take on any adventure in a rugged new Colorado with $1,000 total cash allowance. Thinking electric? Step into the future with the all-new Equinox EV and enjoy $7,500 in potential federal tax credits. Stop in today or visit us online at willischevy.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Spring is here. It's pothole season. Potholes can wreak havoc on your suspension and alignment. If you come into Willis Chevrolet during the month of May and mention this video, we'll check your alignment for free and give you $30 off if you need one. Give us a call or schedule online today at willischevy.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Android app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription. Like the video. Leave your comments in the comment section. You can also follow along on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Coming up this hour, John Walters, voice of the Iowa State Cyclones, going to be joining us. I will say this, Ross, over the weekend, I don't know if you saw it, but I got my shipment of granola from Big Sky.
Did you?
Yeah.
You say shipment.
Shipment. I got 4 kinds of granola, 4 big old bags of granola.
What are the 4?
So I got chocolate.
Yeah.
I got peanut butter chocolate. I got the cherry one.
Okay.
And then I got like a honey almond.
That's the honey almond was the one I didn't come up with.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
so good. And I'd never had Big Sky granola before. Big hit in the household, and then I become like the dictator, right? I'm like, hey, that's product placement. Don't eat it. And Greta and Anjanette look at me. We're not supposed to eat this deliciousness. Are you crazy? So I'm like, well, just conserve. Break off a little piece because sometimes you get like a big cookie.
That's what I fought for. I've told you that. Like I reach in, I pull out a giant chunk, and I'm like, well, it's just one piece.
Well, then I do the old trick. I break it up. Like, if I break it up, I'll eat less. I'll eat the entire thing.
Right.
But it's just So if you haven't tried the Big Sky granola yet, get to the farmers market on the weekend, or just go to the store and say, I want some granola. And you'll be perfectly satisfied. Gives you a lot of energy, should we say. And you wash that down with a rainstorm or a Coca-Cola from Atlanta Coca-Cola Bottling Company.
Oh, my gosh, dude. The Core Power, wait a minute. A Core Power with the Big Sky? Oh, dude.
I think I would pair the almond honey with like the vanilla Core Power. That would be pretty good. I'm making you hungry and thirsty, aren't I?
I am. So Audrey has a little bit of a special day here. Hold on, I gotta help her out with this. Did you know about this?
What's her special day?
She doesn't have to wear a uniform today.
Oh, her non-uniform days are always big.
Yeah, her friend sent her a text, said, "Hey, don't forget we don't have to wear our uniforms today." But Audrey wasn't aware of that. So, do I question the friend?
I would follow up with the school. I don't know if you can follow up with the school and say, "Hey, just want to double check."
We have an app I can communicate with them, but isn't it more fun just to send her out?
Yeah, what are they going to do? Send her back?
They'll be like, "Hey, you fell for a trick, dummy."
Here's the text: non-uniform day. Michelle told me it was non-uniform day.
We'll see. We'll see if Frankie is the. We'll trust Frankie today. I like it.
It's weird because my daughter's not going to school because she's done. My daughter is now officially done with high school. So now she just sits up there, and I don't know what she's going to do all day long. Over the weekend, the Iowa Hawkeye baseball team played at Principal Park. And, of course, we talked a lot about that series with Oregon State. Wasn't the best weekend for the Hawks. They were 0-2-1. They tied yesterday, Ross. I'm not a big fan of ties, but because of, being a West Coast team and the travel that is involved, they got done with the 10th and said, it's too late. We got to go catch our plane. So they tied at 6 in 10 innings yesterday.
It sucks, but it's the nature of the beast. Like Travis, this can happen at the AAA level. I've been at a game at Principal Park that was in like the 15th inning, and the PA announcer came on and said, if the game is tied at the end of the 16th inning, it will end as a tie because, Nashville has to get on a plane. So this unfortunately happens. It was funny yesterday afternoon to see all the tweets and stuff like game ended in a tie.
Ended in a tie. And players don't want it to end in a tie, but they understand what it was going in. So the Hawks lost 9-6 on Friday. They lost 5-1 on Saturday, tied yesterday 6-6 to Oregon State. Now you're probably thinking, okay, it's Oregon State. Oregon State's a top 10 ranked team. So that kind of gives you a measuring stick of where you fall against the upper echelon of college baseball. And here are the attendance. So Friday night, 6,966. Good crowd. On Saturday, 6,270. On Sunday, 3,815. So a 3-game total of 17,051 people watch college baseball over the weekend. Now, you're probably going, well, how does that compare to a regular series at Duane Banks Field? So the week before, they were at home for a 3-game series against Indiana. And over 3 games against Indiana at Duane Banks, 5,292. So a significant, more than 10,000 more people watched at Principal Park. This is the second year they've done the series at Principal Park. I hope they keep this alive, Ross. I think it's good because it does some interest for Iowa baseball, and they're a good baseball team.
And the timing of it, this time of the year is perfect. As long as it fits into the iCubs schedule and they can get the stadium for that weekend. It makes sense. I think you're right. Build some momentum. Travis, the fact that you see that drop off, I was kind of shocked by that Sunday number, right?
Yeah.
Because I was really hoping it was going to go 666. Mother's Day is part of it.
Day, yeah. And, people probably went down and were like, oh, I've got plans.
Or, how many people would have gone to multiple games? You probably went to Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
515-517-2303. Here's somebody we haven't heard from in a while. Let's go to New Sharon, and that's who Derek is. Derek, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
How are we doing this morning, fellas?
Dude, I drove past your I was in your neighborhood. I went out to Sigourney yesterday. I've been out in your neighborhood a couple times, Derek, but every time I get done showing houses, I'm racing back to get to something for the kids. So I don't have time to stop and see you.
Well, that I understand that. Boy, you're a busy man selling houses clear down here in Keokuk County.
I'm trying. So I'm helping a pastor that's moving to town. So going out of my way, trying to earn my way into the heavens.
The church doesn't provide the pastor with said house.
Not said house. No, because it's multiple churches. It's kind of an interesting. Again, there's circumstances here.
Well, I got my last offspring out of college this weekend. Graduated summa cum laude, top of the class. Boy, she got all them brains from me, I think.
Now, Derek, are you being for reals?
Yeah, I'm being for real.
Dang.
Top of the class.
Hey, I didn't know you had kids.
Why would I be for real?
I didn't know you had kids.
I got 2 college graduates and not a link of student loan debt in either one of them. And one graduated summa cum laude this weekend. She's going to be an elementary teacher, teaching little kids how cool it is to be conservative. And I'm thinking I might help with the lesson plans.
God help us.
Tyler wants to know Tyler wants to know if they went to Iowa. Derek, did you send them to be Hawkeyes?
If they went to Iowa, I'd no longer claim any kids. They could go to the University of Al Qaeda, I would claim them. Go to Iowa, I have no kids.
Man, University of Al Qaeda.
Hey, my Cubs are sucking again. I don't know. We need some football back. We need some football and college basketball back. I tell you that.
Well, we are in the dead period, but we'll keep you entertained. We got John Walters coming up later on in the hour.
John,
You'll be able to
will
listen
be
to
joining us
John.
here in a little bit.
Oh, the Godfather. Yeah, the thing is, I can't ever listen. I ain't got a smartphone yet. I need to go get one.
I thought you'd upgraded.
I mean, does your daughter who graduated magna cum laude, Saudi, whatever, does she have a smartphone?
Summa cum laude,
Okay.
top of the class. Summa cum laude,
Okay,
top of the class.
Does she have a smartphone?
And not from New Sharon, right? This is from college.
Yeah. Yeah, this is from college.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's got brains.
I don't know.
All right, Derek.
I'm flying high now.
Yeah, because
All right. Hey, you guys have a great rest of your week. If something major happens in sports, I'll call in.
Oh, you can call in anytime.
See you,
Thanks,
bud.
man.
My Indiana Pacers are putting it on the number 1 seed, though. I do like that.
Yep.
There you go.
Up 3-1. See you,
3-1.
Derek.
Thanks,
All right.
Derek.
Have a great one.
And congratulations, buddy.
And every parent should brag when their kid does.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great accomplishment.
I mean,
and I wasn't wrong to have him clarify, right? I wasn't wrong to be like, hey, you're not messing with us, right? Because I think Derek would have been like, I'm messing with you. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't know he had children. I had no clue.
I knew he had kids because he used to call in and talk about the one playing softball and how he wasn't allowed to go to the games.
I wonder why.
Oh, he would tell. He told us. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
Yeah, because he was drunk and obnoxious. I'm not sure if that surprised you at all.
No. If you would have said obnoxious and drunk, because I think he's obnoxious even when he's sober.
Yes. Here's the other thing. I've met a few people from New Sharon. They know Derek.
And
they know Derek. So that's in a small town. Everybody knows everybody.
Now, of course, you got some people taking shots at what college she may have gone to, like DeVry University,
Listen,
New Sharon wing.
I've tried
Don't
to tell
do
people
that.
you're underestimating that man. I tried to tell everybody.
Yeah,
guys,
you may not like him. I find him kind of funny.
He's a gold mine.
He really is.
You're gonna have to dig through some dirt. It's not always going to be fun, but every now and again you get these giant gold nuggets. Anyway,
and that was one of them. Summa cum laude.
Good for him. Congratulations, buddy.
Because your kids are probably going to graduate summa cum laude or magna cum laude or whatever that is.
Hope.
You just wait, because Eli's going to be a sophomore, and now you're going to start getting to hey, it's time to start looking at colleges. Man. Time to start taking the ACT. Standardized tests. And then he's going, Dad, I want to go
Am I crazy for being like, buddy, join a union. Do a trade. Do HVAC. Do welding. Do something like that. That's what's going to...
But I would say this, even if you don't, you're not crazy, because Mike Rowe will tell you, if you're a big Mike Rowe fan, the trades are where it's at.
My buddies that jumped into those things are kicking ass, man.
Now, I would say this. I would send him to, if that's what you're going to encourage him, if he's interested in it, I would still go to like a community college to get that base, and then you get an apprenticeship while you're doing that. That way you've got kind of because Ross, you're right. You can join a union and be part of that, or you can say, yeah, I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to start my own business. Yeah. I'm going to be I may not want to be an electrician all my life. I may not want to be an HVAC guy, but I may want to start my own business and then sell said business and then retire. But no, I'm telling you right now, I work in construction. No, I don't build anything. But look at my son, right? Owen's a carpenter, a really good carpenter. And
working on your studio. Saw the drywall up.
The drywall is up, and the drywall finisher is coming later this week. So we're getting closer and closer to getting me out of the kitchen and back into a studio. I can't wait for that. I can go downstairs and have some better sound. At least I hope. But we were talking about Iowa baseball. They still have a lot to play for. They have one more regular season series left. They're going to be home this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday against Oregon. Now, this is where we're at. Iowa, if it sweeps, wins the Big Ten regular season championship. It's right now a game ahead of UCLA. UCLA has Northwestern at home this week. So let's just assume that UCLA is going to sweep Northwestern. Northwestern's not very good. Oregon has won 9 of its last 10 games. They're 2 games back in the Big Ten race. So you literally have a championship weekend for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They could end up being the 1 seed, the 2 seed, or the 3 seed in the Big Ten tournament. That's how much is on the line this weekend in Iowa City.
And coming off a tough weekend, I'm maybe we should even reach out. I know it's a rough week for Coach Heller, and we're so busy with interviews, we wouldn't be able to get him on anyway. But when you weren't with us last Wednesday, Trav, we had him on. Coming off of that West Coast trek where they had just they'd played Washington. He wasn't disappointed in the way the team played. They had gone 1-2 in that weekend, but he wasn't disappointed with their performance on the field. Disappointed in the results, not disappointed in how they played. I wonder how he feels about this weekend, because it was similar in losing those first 2 games, having to come back and rebound on Sunday. It's tough to pick yourself up off the mat like that. And even to fight back to a 6-6 tie, I wonder. I'm guessing, I'm just going to assume it's probably the same sort of reaction of not happy with the result, but I'm okay with the way we played on the field. And you just got to look forward. You got to take what you can that's positive from it, because you got a really tough team coming in again this weekend and lots to play for. Travis, you're right. It sucks that you lost, that you had the performance you did, because you could have built some momentum, and winning obviously always helps. Not much was lost, though.
No. It wasn't a conference series. You're playing a team that's ranked in the top 10 in the country. Even though you lost the games, they were fairly competitive. And you kind of see, okay, once you get into Big Ten tournament play, where Iowa's schedule is fairly easy this year. You had to do 1 West Coast trip. You didn't play UCLA. You didn't play USC. So you don't know how you really measure, and you're going to play Oregon here. So you don't know how you measure up against the upper half maybe of the Big Ten. But it gives you kind of an idea. You get into regional play, and if they win the Big Ten, here's what, and we're going to have Kyle Peterson on from ESPN later on in the week. And what I'm curious about is if Iowa were to win the Big Ten regular season championship, and let's just say they win the Big Ten tournament, not saying they're going to, would they be a number 1 seed, and would they host that first regional? That'd be interesting. I don't think they would. They're not ranked. And so that's going to play against them. I think they're going to probably be a 2 seed.
Okay.
I think they're a little better than a 3 seed.
But get to the 1. Kyle's the one. Kyle could answer that.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely. So, but yeah, just good turnout for baseball at Principal Park. I'm glad 17,000 got to get out there and watch it. And again, I hope they continue that.
Perfect. She got a chance to wear blue. She's wearing all blue.
All blue?
All blue. All blue. She looks like Snoop Dogg.
Can't give her dreads? No.
No, she's got, doing good though. Looking good, baby. Good job.
Oh, she's an Elvis fan. She's got the lightning bolt.
I don't think she knows who Elvis is. Audrey, do you know who Elvis is? Oh, she did. She said, "You mean Elvis Presley?" Okay.
No, I thought she said you mean the King, Elvis Presley.
Nope, she didn't say that. Good point, honey. She said, "How would I not know who Elvis is?" Okay.
See?
All right. So, some people do take baseball way too serious, dude. I did see a story this morning I wanted to share with you that's crazy. This is sad, dude. Like this, we take sports way, way, way too serious. We used to talk about this all the time. It seemed like when we would do that Ross's Roulette, every now and again there were these stories of like, oh yeah, guys are poisoning trees in Alabama. We take this stuff too serious. Astros pitcher Lance McCullers has not had a great couple of performances, and the fans are letting him know.
What are they doing?
Death threats to his kids, dude.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Swear to God. This is from Fox Sports. Astros pitcher Lance McCullers says he's received online death threats directed at his children after his tough start Saturday night against the Reds. McCullers, who was making his second start since Game 3 of the 2022 World Series, allowed 7 runs while getting just 1 out. Afterward, McCullers said he received the threats on social media. I understand. This is his quote. I understand people are very passionate and people love the Astros and love sports, but threatening to find my kids and murder them is a little bit tough to deal with. So just as a father, I think there have been many, many threats over the years aimed at me mostly. And I think actually 1 or 2 people from other issues around baseball actually had to go to jail for things like that. But I think bringing kids into the equation, threatening to find them, or next time they see them in public, they're going to stab my kids. Things like that are tough to hear as a dad.
Well,
tough to hear.
And think about tough to hear. I mean, I'd be sickened by it. And think about what we're seeing now with professional athletes, the break-ins, the robberies that are taking place.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are, they can't hide. They can basically be doxxed at any time. And this is something you got to worry about. He's like, send me to AAA. Don't threaten my kids.
Dude, did you see? I saw that there's this dude that works for Barstool. He kind of got his name for remember when he was the Ole Miss guy that went nuts on Iowa and like had like a post-game rant. His name was Brandon something. He works for Barstool. They were having this thing is going viral. I saw Hawkeye Heaven actually retweet it the other day or send it back out on whatever I follow them on, where they're talking about the worst fan bases. And this dude says, oh, Iowa's the worst fan base by far. Hawkeye Heaven got my information out and gave like my wife's job. People were calling my wife's job. People were calling my kid's school. Like, Brandon Walker. Thank you, Jason. Jason Boffman. Yeah, Brandon Walker's the guy's name. I saw this. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Why would Hawkeye Heaven do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
But you know,
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know those guys, gals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I saw that. I was like, whoa, they got bad.
Tim writes on. He says, "Hey, how long have you guys been back? January 27th is when we started, Tim.
It's good to have you though, Tim. Thanks for finding us, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, and we're here every day from 6 to 8. You can find us. You're watching on Facebook right now. You can find us on YouTube. It's powered by Willis Automotive. Or if you're in your car, listen to therushladio.com. Or if you have an Android phone, download the Android app. So there's a number of ways to find us. But we have been back since January 27th, and happier than we've ever been. Let's put it that way. The Rockies fired Bud Black. Probably saw this one coming,
dude.
But see, the Rockies made the cardinal sin. On Saturday, he gets the vote of support from ownership.
the dreaded vote of confidence.
Yes. And then they lose 21-0. Oh. And then he manages yesterday, and they fire him after the game. Yeah. And they won yesterday. But he said the owner said that they made the decision before the game even started. He goes, I just needed to get my ducks in a row. But you go from public show of support.
It's always that. It's always that. That it is the dreaded show of public support. We just want to come out and let everybody know we're behind this guy. No, behind the scenes, we're working to get rid of this guy.
They are 7-33. the Rockies. They were starting chants, Ross, sell the team. Sell the team. I mean, and they're probably pretty audible because there's not very many people at Rockies games right now. So
probably wasn't that. Hey, don't worry, guys. The chants aren't that loud. Well, why aren't they that loud? There's only 2,000 people here.
Here's what I didn't know. Bud Black's been the manager of the Rockies since he's the all-time winningest manager in Rockies history, even though he's got a losing record, an overall record. But how long do you think Bud Black's been the manager of the Rockies?
So as soon as you started that, in my head, I was like, man, it's only been a couple of years, though, in my head, 3 or 4 years.
9 years.
What?
Yes. I had no clue till this morning. No clue whatsoever.
Wow. 26. First of all, a couple things shocking there. 9 years, winningest manager in Rockies history.
Yes. And he has a losing record. But just the 9 years alone would put you up there with a number of wins. Nobody else is around long enough.
Yeah, now I'm just curious because they've only had, they've been around since 93. Don Baylor, oh my gosh, just eclipsed Clint Hurdle. 537 for Bud Black, 534 for Clint Hurdle, 440 for Don Baylor. Here's the thing, man. Their list of managers is an 80s baseball fan's dream come true. Here's their list of managers. Don Baylor, Jim Leland, Buddy Bell.
Wow. I forgot Leland was there.
Clint Hurdle, Jim Tracy, 1989 Rookie of the Year, Walt Weiss.
Wow. Look at you pulling out Rookie of the Year.
And Bud Black. Walt Weiss and Chris Sabo were your 1989. No, wait. I might be wrong about that because the National League Rookie of the Year would have been Jerome Walton in 89.
Look at you. You encyclopedia, you. When we come back on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
88. Walt Weiss was AL Rookie of the Year, 88.
John Walters, voice of the Cyclones, joins us as the Cyclone Tailgate Tour gets ready to roll next week through the state of Iowa. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
Fong's Pizza has moved to 317 East Court in the East Village and is ready for good weather with an expanded menu and a patio that is ready for pals, pints, and pizza. Fall in love all over again with the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Hey everybody, this is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. We got some great stuff going on this month. Right now, you can get up to $4,000 off on a new QX80 and enjoy 2.9% for 60 months. On top of that, this month, you can enjoy 1.9% out to 60 months, an additional $1,000 off of the new QX60. For more information, stop out at our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We're here till 8 o'clock today. Of course, you can find us every day from 6 to 8 at therushradio.com. You know, Ross, the Cyclone Tailgate Tour is coming up. A week from today, they start their bus trip across Iowa. And the master of ceremonies for that entire trip, he looks forward to it every year. They're going to end in Council Bluffs this year. The one, the only, John Walters, voice of the Cyclones.
Don't speak for the man. Do you look forward to it every year?
I do.
Okay.
I do. It's a great way to get out across the state. You know, it's really one of the greatest things that Jamie Pollard has done as the athletics director. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because he's hired great coaches. He's put together tremendous
transformed the department,
the campus. I mean, it's amazing all the things that he's done. Okay. But this was something that he did after his first year on the job. So this is his 19th Cyclone Tailgate Tour that we've had. So he had been here a year. He'd seen the kind of the golf club circuit and, you know, the small towns and coaches having to go to 30 different places across the state and take so much time off their calendars at a time when you just don't have time. And he decided, you know what, let's just put everybody on a bus. That way everybody sees everybody. You know, we'll go out, we'll make it kid friendly. We'll get out to as many communities as we can. It'll be free. We're not going to charge anything. It's not going to be some stuffy $30 a plate or $50 a plate dinner or whatever. It's going to be a fun, come on out event. Get your picture with Cy, get your picture with Matt Campbell, get an autograph from TJ Otzelberger. And it's been awesome. And I think we've really grown our fan base. Not completely because of this, but I think it has helped to grow the fan base over those 19 years because so many young kids are coming out to this thing and really getting a lasting impression of Iowa State athletics. And then, you know, a lot of them will go this year and there'll be kids that were at, you know, they were an infant at the tour 19 years ago, and now they're an Iowa State student. And so, you know, you just can't beat that. And so it's really been a stroke of genius from Jamie, and it's 1 week off the coach's calendar, which is great, where we're going to get the entire state covered, and it's a really great way to do it.
You know, I call it the accessibility thing, right? And that's what fans want, and it's a play out of the NASCAR playbook. When NASCAR was big, all those drivers were accessible. Fans could go up to them, sign autographs, and if you can get close to a coach, that's a memorable experience for anybody.
It is. And that little 7 or 8 second interaction that you have might impact that child or adult or whatever for the rest of their lives. I mean, it is going to give them an impression of you. And I remember Bob Costas once said, look, you're going to have maybe a 10-second interaction with somebody at the grocery store. You can either be a jerk in those 10 seconds, or you can be great in those 10 seconds. Either way, you're going to leave an impression on that person. It's still 10 seconds out of your life, right?
Yeah.
No matter how you treat it, it's 10 seconds out of your life. But in that 10 seconds, you can really create a great lasting impression of what kind of a person you are with that individual. And so why not? You know, why not have a great interaction? And our coaches love it. They love getting out and meeting our fans. And when you think about, okay, what's the number one selling point that Iowa State will present to recruits? Is it, hey, we're right by the ocean. Is it
No.
the weather is unbelievable year round? It is the fans. It is the fan base. The passion of the fan base for Iowa State athletics is what sets it apart, and that's why you go sell that. And so nothing's more important than growing that fan base and interacting, and as you guys said, having actual accessibility interaction with those fans so that they feel like they know you, and they do know you, and that's critically important for them to invest their weekends, their long drives in the winter to come to Hilton Coliseum. For them to do what they do is a big sacrifice. And so it's a small sacrifice for us to get in a bus and go out to where they live and meet them on their ground, once a year.
And you're not on a Greyhound, by the way. You're not on a Greyhound. You're on an Express.
The tour started with a Greyhound. Yeah, no, it was a regular bus to begin with, but the good people at Windstar up in Carroll, they provided us with a pretty good bus, which
do they stock it? Does it come fully stocked? I mean, is there like a full bar and beer in this thing?
There's beverages available. I mean, nobody takes too much advantage of that, but it's there. It's there. If after the events are over, at the end of the night, if somebody wants to have a cold orange whip, they can.
Orange whip.
Travis, and not to beat a dead horse on all of this, but to tie it maybe all together, what's the one word, Travis, that you and I have talked about that is the most important for these coaches in order to build these programs? It's connectivity, it's connection. And that what you're describing here, John, is that. I mean, it's that to its core, connecting with fans. I love that thing that you said of infants 19 years ago, now being students. That's when you get fans.
Yeah.
That's what was the brilliance in Jamie's long-term vision on a lot of different things here, that the fan base, that was part of that brilliant mind there.
I mean, even back then, 19 years ago, he said, what we're doing is planting seeds. We're planting seeds, and we're going to watch them grow. And these kids are going to become Cyclone fans. And that's exactly what's happened. And he loves it when one of them comes up and says, well, I'm an Iowa State student now. And I came to this when I was 5 years old or 6 years old, or I'm in the student manager, or I'm in the band. That's really satisfying to hear those kind of things. And obviously we played one little part in that. It's not like they're going to make their whole life decision based on 5 seconds of meeting Jamie Pollard on the tailgate tour, but it helps. It helps. And I think one thing that I can't understate or overstate, I guess would be the correct way to put it. The one thing I can't overstate is how accessible these guys are. So when Matt Campbell is in line signing autographs, if we have to delay the start of our program 5 minutes to make sure that every kid in that line gets an autograph or a picture with Matt, we will do it. And that line sometimes stretches as far as you can see. And so it's, and he takes time with each one of those kids. Ask them questions, how they're doing, what are they doing in school. He is so genuine with those kids, and all the coaches are, but I just am so impressed with Matt and his, the way he makes you feel like you've known him for years when you first meet him. And I think that's why he does so well in recruiting too. He genuinely cares. And it's a really cool conversation to watch him with the kids, the way he interacts. He loves it. I think the kids are his favorite part of the whole deal. And I would say that's true for TJ and Bill Fenley, all our coaches. And so it's nice for them too, guys. I'm sorry I'm rambling, but
you're fine, John.
That's fine.
It's great.
It's what's really nice.
It's your world. We're just breathing your air.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. What's really neat about the tour, though, from my perspective also, is that you have coaches in all these different buildings on campus, right? And so even though they're all part of the Cyclone Athletics family, they don't see each other very much, right? I mean, in person, they don't get a chance to just sit and pick each other's brains and talk about ideas and exchange ideas. Well, this, being on a bus going from, Davenport to Council Bluffs will give you plenty of opportunities to have those conversations, right? And so I think that's really valuable too, because you never stop growing and learning as a person, as a coach. And so don't think for a minute that, TJ Otzelberger doesn't pick up an idea or two from Matt Campbell or vice versa that they implement. And so, and plus they just like getting to know each other better, and they get that opportunity on this. So it really does serve a lot of different purposes. And again, just an awesome concept from Jamie Pollard, that the execution of it from the Cyclone Club and all the people involved, our marketing staff, they just do a great job of pulling it all together and making it look really great.
So like night 3, you're in Clear Lake. I mean, are you putting signs on the stage just to remind you where you're at? Hello, Clear Lake.
Yeah, like the concert where they announce the wrong city that they're in. Yeah, no, I think we'll have it figured out. We've been to most of these venues before, and they're awesome places to go. I mean, our night stops will be in Davenport, Cedar Rapids, Clear Lake. You're right. You're exactly right. Day 3 will be Clear Lake, Okoboji, and then Council Bluffs to round it out. And great crowds every time we go there, and tons of energy. I always like the lake visits because people are happy when they're on a lake, right? I mean, nobody's in a bad mood when they're at Okoboji or Clear Lake. Not that anybody in Davenport is either, but it's just they're at a different level of happiness. And so there's a natural energy that comes from our stops in Clear Lake and Okoboji.
I don't know if anybody's happy in Council Bluffs, but that's
says the Omaha guy.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
right.
It's interesting.
Stuffy
You're in
Omaha
Council Bluffs
guy.
on a Friday night. Are you guys going to? That gets over late. Are you guys just going to head back after that, or are you spending the night in Council Bluffs?
Yeah, no, that. Believe me, we'll have had enough overnights. Their coaches will all be ready to get home and sleep in our own beds. So yeah, after that event ends, we'll get back in names about 10:30 or 11 that night. But getting it all done in 1 week is critical, because I don't know whatever happened to college athletics where these coaches' calendars they've just disappeared. Where a coach used to be able to take a month or a month and a half away and just kind of relax, and now it's just like, man, recruiting just never ends. And so for them to only have to take 1 week off their calendar to do this, and we condensed it down from 2 to 1 this year, I think for that reason, it's just critical, because every hour counts for those guys.
John, we have been lucky enough to talk to Coach Fenley. We've had Coach Heller on, guys that have been in this business for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And these changes that are happening in the college sports world seem to be wearing on some of these coaches. You can see the stress and the change. When you're around these coaches, do you see that and feel that? What do you think the next couple of years leads us to?
It's a great question, and I do kind of sense it, honestly. I mean, I think it's just hard. You don't ever feel like you can catch your breath. And you never feel secure, even after you've gotten a commitment from a player, that's going to follow through. And, there's just all this extra pressure that comes from the outside world that makes your job more difficult. Now, nobody's feeling sorry for these guys. They're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
They've chosen this career, and they do well in it. And but man, the sacrifices are huge. And so I'm not surprised to see the Nick Sabans of the world get out of it. To see the Jay Wrights of the world say, okay, enough's enough. Tony Bennett. I think you're going to see more of that with guys at a younger age. I don't think you're going to see as many Bill Fenleys that do this for 40 years. I think there'll still be some coaches that do, but it's going to be more and more rare, I think, going forward.
So you mentioned the coaches' calendars are always busy because they're always recruiting or doing something. What do you do? Are you at work? And I mean, do you have 4 months off now? I mean, seriously,
do you pay attention? The guy's working every day. Are you paying attention?
I'm at work right now, Trav. I got here at 6:30 this morning. Sometimes I just wake up in the summer and it's like, okay, it's light out. I'm just going to go to work. And that doesn't mean I'll be here till, 7 o'clock tonight or anything. Okay. But no, we still are pretty busy through May. We've got availability today for our women's golf team. They've made the NCAA championship for just the second time in school history, which is huge. Really a great accomplishment for them. Softball, I'm doing replays right now in the next room of the BYU and Arizona games from last week, which we'll put on cyclones.tv. There's always something going on through May, and then June and July, it really slows down. Although this year it's going to ramp back up in the middle of July because we've got 2 August football games, going to Dublin and then come back, play South Dakota in August also. So the calendar gets really pushed up where mid-July it's going to be ramping up toward football a little bit quicker than usual. So
with 2 August football games, do they get to start practice earlier? How's that work?
Yeah, I think July 25th will be around then. Will be their media day, and off you go. And the great thing about it is they have 3 byes within the football season, which I think is just awesome. So they play. I think they play 3 games, get a bye, play 4 games, get a bye, play 5 games. Well, I can't remember. There's 3 byes within the season, which is just huge because we know how last year's team got depleted by injuries and how hard that can be to get through a long physical football season, especially when you think about when you start practice and going all the way into December. And so any breaks you can get to help you get your team healthy are huge in football. And to have 3 of those within your season broken up like that, I can't remember exactly how the breakup is, but there are 3 weeks within the season where Iowa State will have a bye. And that's just, it's enormous. And hopefully they can take advantage of that.
Have you ever been to Dublin? Sorry. And do you get to take Joni with you? Because is this like, okay, sweetheart, because she probably didn't go on a lot of trips with you. Do you get to take Joni with you?
She's gone on a few trips, but not this one. We're going to go on Wednesday, get there Thursday morning, and be back on the plane Saturday coming back. Because, again, we got that South Dakota game coming up the following week. You know, coaches, they're in a regimen. They're not going to spend 3 extra days sightseeing. It's going to be like, okay, South Dakota, 6 days from now, we got to get back and look at the film, right? So she's not going on this. I have not been to Dublin. I've been to Dublin Bay here in Ames. Really good Reuben. That's about as close as I've gotten. But no, it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. It's going to be really cool. And what's really cool about it, guys, is think about this. Like basketball teams, volleyball teams for years have done like those foreign trips in the off season, which is really a great experience for those student athletes, but football players never get that chance. And so here's this golden opportunity for football players to go experience something in Europe that they've never seen, never been a part of. And that'll be a really great experience for the guys.
That's something I thought of. Basketball players get to go to Maui and stuff like that.
They're always going to exotic places, right?
Football team gets bowl games, but that can be Detroit.
Football's going to Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Don't knock Jonesboro.
I've never been there.
You've never been to Jonesboro?
It's not the Bahamas. Can we agree?
All right.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
And John, not too or way too early. Top 25s came out for football. Iowa State 14 in the ESPN too early top 25, and I think that's just indications of how. What Matt Campbell's done with that program, where the program is right now. Basketball is in that same position. Perennial powerhouse is what TJ is building up there. You've been a part of that program for a long time. When you started as the play-by-play guy for the Cyclones, it was not this Iowa State. This got to be a lot of fun for you, even though it's really busy and it's a lot more stress for the guys around you. This success, does it make it more fun or is it more stressful?
It makes it a lot more fun.
Good.
Yeah, trust me. The first year, 2003, that I did the football games, Iowa State won its first 2 games, and I thought, man, this is going to be easy, And then they lost 10 in a row, and some of those were really lopsided losses, man. So trust me, winning is way better than the alternative. My great partner Eric Heff says, the difference sometimes between winning and losing is this big, but the gap in the way you feel is like the Grand Canyon. And that's so true. So absolutely, it's unbelievable. I mean, we're going to probably be a top 25 team, almost for sure, in football, men's basketball, women's basketball heading into the season for the second year in a row. And those are things that just you didn't have that kind of across the board success. And even last year, if you looked at winning percentages of those 3 programs across the Big 12, Iowa State was number 1. And so it was a very successful year. And sometimes we forget that because we get caught up, well, this guy got hurt, or, they didn't quite get as deep into the NCAA tournament or whatever. Man, it was a really successful year. Yeah. I mean, you won 25 games in men's basketball for the 6th time in school history. And that's 113 years of men's basketball. You've done it 6 times. Last year was one of those times, right? So that was a great year. Women's basketball had a great year, went to the NCAA tournament, won a game. Coach Fenley won his 800th game. Incredible. And then football to go get 11 wins and win a great bowl game against the number one pick in the NFL draft. And Miami was really cool. And so it was a great year for Iowa State athletics. And I think this year has a chance to be every bit as much fun or more. And absolutely, it gives you a lot to look forward to. It makes this tailgate tour a lot easier to go out there with optimism. That's legit, not have to force it or create it. It's there. It's real. So
we don't knock it. We've said Jamie Pollard did a great job of selling hope, and that's not a knock on what he built over these years. It was real.
That's the first thing you have to sell. That's the first. You better be able to get to that first, and then whatever comes after that is great. But if you can't get to that point, you got nothing. If you got no hope, right? And so, absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. And I would say the same thing about Matt Campbell in this sense. Iowa State fans for the last 4 or 5 years have gone into every football weekend feeling like, hey, if we play well, we got a chance to win. And I know those players feel that way in that locker room, right? So that didn't used to be that way, right? There were years where you're losing 77-13 at Nebraska, all right? And to be able to say, hey, I don't care where they're going. I don't care if they're going to Oklahoma or playing Miami or playing BYU at BYU or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. You feel like you have a legitimate chance every week if you play well. And that kind of hope is huge for football fans because, you're trying to sell season tickets and create that hope. And it's there. It's legit. And there's every reason to have it. Iowa State should be pretty good. It's going to be a fun football season.
So if somebody walks up to you at the tailgate tour, what do you want them to hand you? A Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, Guinness? What do they hand John Walters?
We're not doing the beverages during the tour.
Why not?
No. We usually it's one of our posters that the coaches sign. That would be the things that if somebody's going to hand you something, or a bill, something like that. Accounts doable.
A bill,
payable.
Accounts doable. Accounts doable.
Yeah. I always pay the bill at all the stops. No, we just have a great time. Most of it's just pictures, autographs, getting out and actually visiting with these fans that, for me, it's crazy because some of these are people that used to call into the call-in show, and it's like you'd hear their voices all these times. And now you're meeting them in person and it's like, oh, wow, there's a face to go with the name. So, but it's great to get out and meet as many people as you possibly can. I met a kid in Cedar Rapids whose first name was Taylor, named after Pete Taylor. And
your mentor.
How cool is that? And that was a really cool experience for me. So it's all kinds of stuff like that, and it really is a great week.
All right, John. Good seeing you, buddy. We don't see
you.
each other enough. You know that?
I'm Travis, and I'm proud of you. I thought you were going to ask John to break the locker room code and tell us some of those stories from inside the bus that he's not supposed to share. So thank you for not doing that.
Oh, would you look at the time?
No, hey, I'm going to try to get over there on Friday just to say hi. I know you're going to be busy, and I know you're not spending the night, but I'll try to get over there and say hello.
That'd be awesome. We'd love to see you. Yeah,
thanks a lot, John.
We're starting in Ankeny next Monday.
Next Monday.
So people in Central Iowa want to come out and see the Cyclone coaches and Jamie Pollard.
Do you real quick because I know we're running short on time, but like when you're in Ankeny, are the crowds lesser because you're closer to Ames? I mean, when you get to Dubuque and you get to Council Bluffs, are the crowds bigger because you're farther away from Ames?
I don't know if bigger, but more enthused maybe, just because they don't get to see as often. But we haven't done Ankeny. This is a first, so this will be new. But we'll see. I'll give you a report afterwards. Let you know.
A lot of Cyclone fans there. Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate it as always.
Talk soon.
Great to see you guys. Thanks.
John Walters joining us on the Rush Radio Show.
Real deal.
What I like about the Cyclone Tour, and I'm not knocking the Hawks, but like the Hawks are coming to Omaha on Wednesday, and the only head coach that I know is Tom Brands. They're not bringing Kirk Ferentz. They're not bringing Ben McCollum. So you're kind of like,
I saw people like, oh, Tim Lester's coming.
Okay.
All right.
Big
Look
deal.
at what the Cyclones are doing. You wonder why they've kicked your ass in the PR game for the last 25 years. It's been everybody that's paid attention notices that. Where it was 25 years ago. If you knew a couple Cyclone fans growing up. You knew a couple. You knew one or two UNI fans, and you knew one or two Drake fans, and you knew a handful of Cyclone fans. Now it's 50-50, if not. I mean, like the gap is not even a gap anymore.
No, not
you
even.
could even argue that Iowa State in certain communities, I would say it's much more prominent, prevalent there, and it's that connection that we've talked about for a long time. Man, what happened with Fran McCaffrey? Why can't they get people in the... There's no connection there. Why is there no connection? Because they don't do stuff like this. They don't get out in front of the community and shake people's hands and look them in the eye and say, what's your name? Larry. Oh, you're the dude that used to call into my call-in show. Larry from Clear Lake. How you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
I like the analogy that John used with Jamie Pollard is saying we're planting seeds. You planted seeds 19 years ago, and now they're grown. And
Beth Getz, pay
that
attention.
has not made a difference. Now, winning helps. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but again, they weren't winning when he's out there spreading those seeds. Those are the years that John's talking about where they're losing 9-10 in a row in football. Where they're struggling to get people to come to games. And then we all remember when we were like, Iowa State's selling out and they aren't even winning. Step one, sold the hope. Step two, deliver on the hope.
And keep selling hope.
And
Deliver
keep
on the
selling
hope
hope.
and keep selling the hope.
And Bill, and then Beth Getz, take note. In 25 years, do you want people to look back and go, man, look at the impact that she had on that Iowa program? She transformed the program like Jamie Pollard did. Or do you want people to go, oh yeah, she's the lady that took over for that one guy. She did the same thing that guy did. Maintained.
That was a fun 2 hours. I want to thank John Walters for coming on with us. Miss any part of the show, going to be up on the podcast at therushradio.com a little bit later on. You can always click that listen live link. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Tell people about us. We had somebody out here earlier say, hey, when did you guys come back? We just assumed everybody knew we were back. Obviously, not everybody knows that. But tell somebody about us. Tell them to listen. Tell them to watch. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. For Ross Peterson, I'm Travis Justice. This is The Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
Hi everyone and welcome to May. It's finally starting to feel like spring. I'm John Lanera, sales manager here at Willis Lexus, and this month we've got some great specials. We have interest rates as low as 3.79 on select models, and if you prefer to lease, we have $1,000 of lease cash on RX, $2,000 on ES and ES Hybrid, and $2,500 on NX Gas. And don't forget this month we've got the Principal Charity Classic coming on, so expect to see you guys out there. I invite you to stop out and take a look, or visit us online at willislexus.com.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig, plantation rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.